for Yeti here. So today I'm going to walk you through another daily BugForge challenge. This one is with the Cafe Club. So I'm not going to go through the whole pen test process. I'm just going to kind of take you through the actual bug itself, because this one actually requires some talking a little bit. So in this part, we usually will kind of find different types or categories for our orders, right? So if we're ordering online, can we pick it up online? Can we use certain cards or transactions, etc.? So this is kind of the bug that we're going to go through, and I just want to talk about it briefly. So let's go to the cart right away. So here, we can kind of see a few things. We can see our order. I ordered Brazilian Santos, my quantity, and I can remove it if I want to, and then proceed to checkout. Okay, so not a lot of options here. So we can assume that this is kind of a online store, right? So let's go to proceed to checkout. Okay, then again, same thing, not a whole lot of options, just kind of how do you want to pay? You want to use gift cards, you want to use points. So this is kind of interesting. So normally, if it is like a big store or has like multiple options, it will give you that. It'll say, okay, you want to pay with cash, card, do you want to, pick it up in store, whatever. So nothing yet. All right, finally, the payment center. So again, very bare bones, not a whole lot here. So we just see the card holder information, card number, expiry date, CVS, or CVC, so sorry. So we have no options to pick it up. So you can assume that this is an online store, okay? So that's kind of interesting. But the reality is this is not an online store, actually. It actually has multiple functions. So let's go back to Kaido really quick. And let's go ahead and begin our queuing. So we're going to go ahead and capture the request. So let's go ahead and place the order. So now we're going to go and look at what we have. So here we have our checkout process. So here it tells you a couple things, points, gift card, credit card number, information, all that stuff. But here's an interesting thing that we did see that we didn't see on the front end is type, and it says online. Now, I want to talk about this for a second because I think this is interesting. So the creator of this actually said this was like a logic error, which is true. Because if you think about it, when you're going through the checkout flow, you will be given an option. Do you want this to be online? Do you want this to, be a different cash card, wire transfer, whatever? So we see that none of those options were available on the front end, but we do see that it is possible on the back end, which is very, very interesting. So we can see that maybe they didn't add it for some particular reason, or maybe it just they forgot to, or whatever the case could be. So we can see that this is actually like a problem. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is custom word lists. So a lot of times when you want to do fuzzing or search for endpoints or whatever, you should use a word list. Now, Kali Linux, they have their own word lists, and you can find a lot of different GitHub repos with good word lists. But I think the moral of this story is you should try to build your own, because actually the creator gave us a hint that the particular item or type that we were looking for was UK. It was UK based. So this actually was not an international English word. So this was a very specific word to British people, and it's an informal word actually. So there was a lot of missing context in that situation. So actually, I think when you're working on pen tests, I think it's good to develop a custom word list over time. So I could say maybe use like RockU or something as like a base, and then add to that so you can kind of continue that journey of useful words. Okay. So because of that, since he did say that it was a UK-based word, so let's look at the word till. So in British English, till is for a term called cash register or like a POS system, whatever. So this is something that we would never hear in American English, but we do hear it in Australian English and British English. So this was kind of interesting. So now that we understand what we're trying to do, let's go ahead and fire this request. Okay, so we're going to go through everything. All right, so let's just go ahead and drop the queue. So now what will happen is we see here exactly, we see our flag. So this is very, very important. So when you're going through these attempts, you're going through different engagements, try to get as much context as possible. So if you see that there's a type and you're just not too sure how to hit it, use your custom word list. Come up with some lists that will help you to overcome this. And I think that'll help you a lot. So guys, I really liked this daily BugForge challenge. I felt it was really useful, really insightful. So guys, if you like this, comment, like, or subscribe, and then stay tuned for my next challenge. Thank you.